Hey Student Success, this is your week 3 video, which runs from June 21st through the 27th, and we are making our way pretty quickly through the course, and we're almost at halfway point. So we are going to be in week 3, which means you're probably relying less and less on the Start Here section of our folders, just with all this extra information in there, but of course you're always welcome to go in there. Quick reminder, be sure you're checking your course messages, the weekly announcements, your calendar, and your grades just to stay on top of everything. So we're going to go ahead and get into the lessons area, and we're going to scroll down. I'm going to get into week 3, and we do have quite a bit of work to do this week. So just bear with me as I go through them. There's going to be a lot of clicking around because there is a lot of work to do, and it's all going on in different places. So I just want to preface it with that. So this chapter, it revolves around chapter 12, taking control of your future and career services. I'm going to go ahead and get into the materials folder real quickly here, and I'm going to pull up the chapter 12 textbook link and just kind of hit some of the key points, and then use the assignments to kind of talk about some of the work as well. So chapter 12, as you can see, again, is kind of like career services related. And so there's that quick, self-assessment at the beginning that goes over your career options, your goals, some different ways to get there. And so you'll look through this, again, just a real quick intro. The next section talks about making career decisions in general and how you can align those with different goal setting. So again, just kind of looking through there, and some of you, as I've mentioned before, are at different points of your life. I've had students based on introductions this summer who are still in high school. I've had students who are a semester away from graduating, and so clearly there are different points where everyone is, and so I just really encourage you to use this chapter based on where you are and what you need to focus on. So for instance, some of you might be right here. Career exploration. You might not know what you want to major in 100% yet. You might have declared a major, but you're not really set on it quite yet, or you are thinking of changing your major, or you're in high school still, so it's still a little ways off. And so this section really goes into, how do you determine what you want to do? Who are you? There are lots of different self-assessments, and Holland is one of the most common ways to look at self-assessments, personality traits, to see kind of who you are in terms of your personality, because lining up your personality and your job preference can lead to better career satisfaction, as well as knowing the kind of resources that are out there. And so there's a couple different sites. This one I often use in a lot of my face-to-face classes. Of course, it didn't go to the main page right there. Here we go. So this is one of those sites that I use in one of my face-to-face classes. We go in here and we use this. I'm just going to type in, for our purposes, physical therapy. And it can help you learn about the career choice you're going into. It has a lot of great information. And so part of kind of career exploration is knowing the information about the field that you want to go into. Like, what do they do? What kind of salary can you expect? What are the physical, mental, emotional requirements that are going to be asked of you? So different ways to explore careers in that capacity. Some of you might, again, be at this point where you're choosing your major, and how do you go about choosing your major? The best way really is to first know yourself, maybe talk to your parents, talk to a counselor, or at your high school, or obviously at the college, your advisor, talk to your instructors, making sure that you're making choices that are going to align with who you are and your overall goals in life. Now, some of you might be a little bit past that, so this is where you would kind of maybe pick up, this section right here, talking about if you're going to get a 2-year degree or if you're moving on to get a 4-year degree. So how does that work with the whole transfer process, as well as what are the skills that you're going to need? Everyone needs transferable skills. So each of you in your programs are going to learn your what's called technical skills, or hard skills, so to speak, things that only nurses need to know or only teachers need to know. But everyone needs transferable skills because, as the name implies, they transfer no matter what field you're in. So things like flexibility, time management, working with others, So here are a bunch of those transferable skills, and just kind of take a quick self-assessment. What of these skills do you have do you do well, and what skills do you need to brush up on? Because yes, your technical skills will get you a job, but really these soft skills, these transferable skills, are what's going to keep you in your job and kind of moving up the ladder, so to speak. You know, you have to know what you're doing, but you also have to have these things as well to make sure that you're being successful in your field. Okay, so this is what this section talks about. And then also kind of building your resume, whether that means volunteering, looking at internships, part-time jobs. So this talks about the importance of all those as they relate to your career. And then this is going to kind of cover career resources. We do have a career services office on our campus, which I'm going to kind of talk about as we go throughout the assignments here. So this is going to talk about kind of developing your career and how do you go through that process of getting connected and working toward that career development. Networking is an important part, again, no matter what field you're in. You've probably heard the phrase, it's not who you know, it's what, or excuse me, it's not what you know, it's who you know, which is true to some extent. You obviously have to know what you're doing, but also like you need to know people and people need to know you. You know, making sure that you are making connections, joining organizations, talking to your advisors and teachers on campus, you know, putting yourself out there. All those are ways to network and create people who know you and allow your work and your personality to kind of show that you are interested in positions. And so this section talks about networking and how that can aid in your career development. And then we have where some of you may be as well, again, depending on where you are in your career process right now, your resume and cover letters. So no matter where you are in your career process, whether you're a sophomore in high school or you are ready to graduate, your resume should be updated and ready to go. So if you don't have one, think about kind of creating one. If you already have one, take a look at it and check to make sure that it's up to date, that it is something that would be ready to send out. Also, your resume may have to morph a little bit depending on where you're applying. You may have to kind of cater it to that specific company or organization. And so this section will give you some resume tips, as does our career services office, which I'll talk about here in a little bit as well. So this goes over, again, like the basics of a resume, some ways to kind of make sure that it is nice and polished before you send it out, as well as what a cover letter is and the importance of including that cover letter. And then you can see this final section is talking about interviewing, which is often the least favorite part for most people in the job process, is interviewing. And so how can you be most prepared for the interview process? So this is going to go through different kinds of interviews. It's a network interview, a screening interview. Is it one-on-one? Sometimes you have a group interview where that could literally mean there are 5 of you applying for the job and they're asking you all questions, or it's you and 5 people in the room and they're all asking you questions. So there's different scenarios for different types of interviews. So how can you best be prepared? So this is going to go through tips, you know, making sure you know about the organization, have questions prepared, know about, you know, their purpose, their information about their company. Make sure you know what the job description is asking. Make sure your resume is up to date and, you know, accurate. So they give you like a little interview study guide. These are typical questions. So if you could have these questions kind of in your proverbial back pocket, know how to answer them, that is really helpful. So you're not sitting there kind of like, you know, so you want to make sure that you have those ready to go. Okay? And so again, and these are just more tips on how to prepare for the interview, as well as what to do during the interview itself, as well as after the interview. So as always, I encourage you to spend time on any particular section that you think would be most beneficial to you, whether you're at the very beginning or the very end stages of your career development process. That is chapter 12. Okay, so after you've taken some time on your own, kind of looking through the chapter 12 materials, we'll go ahead and look at our week 3 assignments. So as I mentioned, there are quite a few assignments this week. You do have a discussion forum, so make sure that you are posting your original response by Wednesday and responding to 2 students by Sunday. Everything else is due Sunday. So you have a Pathways project, you have a MAP assignment, a program advisor assignment, and a career services assignment. This is 30 points. So please make sure you complete it. This is one of those assignments that very easily can take you from an A to a C, if not more, because it is 30 points. So please make sure you pay attention to that one. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click into the assignment folder. And the very first thing here, I'm going to get into this. This is where your educational pathways and your discussion forum are going to be located. So before you can do your discussion forum, you have to complete this right here. So you're going to pull this up. It's going to be one of those, yep, here we go, like moving, talking.
Teaching a degree is so stressful.
PowerPoints. So it's going to walk you through some things like, okay, how do I get this information? And it's going to have links to pages, and I'm also going to kind of go to those pages as well. So you can click on these links, or I can show you where they're located manually, so to speak, as well. So you're going to eventually want to go to the Stark State Academics page, which we're going to do so in just a few minutes. And that's going to have a little video in here about career services and walking you through these different resources, as well as Career Coach, which again, I'm going to manually take you to in a few minutes as well, but you are also welcome to click to it from there. There's a little intro video about Career Coach. All right, now, what you're actually doing, here's the actual work. So you're filling out, there's going to be 2 slides. As you can see, it says choice 1, and then there's going to be choice 2. So what does that mean? So this is, I'll tell you a couple options you have here. Some of you are 100% decided on your major. So that's what you would do for choice 1. You know, if you're going to fill this out with your choice 1 information. Some of you might be undecided. So maybe you look at your 2 options you're looking at, and that can be choice 1 and choice 2. If you're 100% decided, again, choice 1 will be your actual major, and choice 2 can be one that's like a connected field. Like maybe if you're going into physical therapy, you could look at occupational therapy, or it can be something you just think is fun. I've had students do choice 1, their actual major, you know, like elementary education, and then choice 2, like I've always wondered what it would be like to be a chef. So choice 2 can be like a fun choice, so to speak, or again, you can look to see different choices that you're actually looking at if you're stuck between majors or you're just trying to get that information. So where do we go to get this information? I'm going to break it down into the 2 sections, the academic information and the career information here. So to get this academic information, I'm going to go to the Stark State webpage. So here I am, the Stark State College webpage, and I'm going to go under academics. And you can see they're grouped by career community. I'm going to stick with my physical therapy example. And so I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to go into health. But you should go into the career community that best fits what your major is. And hopefully you can tell by these groupings where that would be. So again, for my purposes, I'm going to go into health. And all these pages are set up in a very similar way, so which is helpful for when I go through this process here. So here is kind of, it just gives you a really general overview, contacts with the different programs, and then lots of different program related information, ways to request information and look at different links. So again, lots of just information in general. It's going to talk about all the different areas inside health. But I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and I'm going to look, here's all the program fields or major fields inside health umbrella. And I'm going to go to physical therapy because that's the major that I'm going to say I'm going into for this purpose. So physical therapy, the PTA, physical therapy assistant. Now it's going to take me to the PTA specific site. So now I'm here, it's going to kind of give me more information about what a PTA program does, what they do. Lots of information about the program itself. If I wanted to know the cost, if I wanted to know who to get in contact with, different links and resources. I'm going to go ahead and click on courses. And you can see we have a full-time and a part-time. It's going to have the same information. It's just going to give you a different suggested path to take. But I'm just going to click on the full-time for now. And it's going to open up into this PDF. And it's going to give me all the classes I have to take as a PTA student, as well as a suggested course to take, in every semester, what classes to take. Okay, but this is the page I'm going to use for my assignment. I'm going to kind of pull this up and look at it a little bit here. So using this over here, the first thing I need to note is the division. So on my page, and again, no matter what field you're in, when you go to pull this up, look, I'll go into even business real quickly. Let's say I'm in business. I'm going to scroll all the way down, and let's say I'm in accounting. I'm going to go ahead and look at all this accounting information. And let's say it goes even more specific. Let's say I'm accounting for health. Here's that link to courses. There's the PDF. So again, they all look the same. Okay, so the division is right up here, health and public services. So that's what I would type right here. I would type it correctly though. Public. Okay. The degree. Well, the degree is right up here, the Associate of Applied Science. What degree are you getting? Are you getting Associate of Applied Science, Associate of Arts? So that's the degree. That's what I would type right here. What is the major? Well, the major is this right here, Physical Therapy Assistant. That's my major. That's what I'm looking at going into. And what are the program requirements? Okay, so this is where these are all technically program requirements. I do not expect you to type all this, obviously. What you should type for that particular section maybe is, look, I have to take 67 credits of class. That's a program requirement right there. Here's another program requirement. I have to get a C in all my technical and non-technical courses. I also have to have an application. So those are general program requirements. That's all you need to type in that section right here. How many credits it is there like a GPA or a grade requirement? Is there an application process? That's all you need to type there. And for some of you, that might be new information. So it might be helpful to know, like, oh, you have to have a certain GPA or you have to have a program application. So that's for the first part right here. And remember, eventually you'll get to choice 2 and have to do that again for a second choice. Okay. Now, for the bottom part, I want you to go to Career Coach. So I'm going to go back to, Stark State because I can get to it from here. And I'm going to scroll all the way down. You can see there's a link for Career Coach right there. So I'm going to get to it right there. And I'm going to go to Browse Careers for right now. You're actually going to take the assessment later, but for right now, I'm going to go to Browse Careers. And I'm going to type in my career, Physical Therapy Assistant. And I'm going to click on the most closing match here. And here we go. Physical Therapy Assistant. This Career Coach is really helpful because it's going to give you a quick overview of, what this field does. It's also going to connect you to the programs that are most closely aligned to it at the college. But if I wanted to just kind of learn about it, I would click on my overview. I could go into more detail about the tasks and, the kind of education I'm going to have in that field, the skills that I need for that field, how much I can expect to make, who is hiring, how many companies are looking, job postings, and there's also some similar careers as well as who's posting jobs right now. Okay, so this is what I'm going to use for this bottom part. So job career, I would type in again like Physical Therapy Assistant. My average salary, well, I'd go back to wages here and it says this is where they start, this is normal, and this is the high range. Or I could go to my overview and get my average or my median salary right there. Job postings, so this is where I would go over here to live job postings. And some of you may only have a couple, some of you may have a lot. So just pick like the top couple. I might put down, Aqua Care Rehab Center and Therapy for Schools. Those are 2 job postings that are posted right now. And what are some qualifications? So that would go back over here to like about, it looks like I need to have at least an associate's degree. I need to be able to communicate well. I need to be able to problem solve. I need to have compassion. So you can kind of look through and see what kind of skills and requirements are needed for there. Okay, so that's where you get the information for this slide. And then when you are done, you'll hit submit and then it'll pop up with choice 2. And so you'll do choice 2. So again, maybe you also want to look at like occupational therapy, or for fun, you want to look at like photography. So that's what you're doing for the educational pathways to a career assignment. I'm going to go ahead and get back to my site here, hopefully without having to click out. I'm going to have to, there we go. Okay. I just love Blackboard sometimes, guys. There we go. Okay, so after I've completed that, now I can use what I've done here to post in my discussion forum. So in my discussion forum, it says, discuss your findings from the assignment, meaning this assignment up here. Which degrees, majors did you choose for the assignment? What you found interesting and what surprised you. So you're just going to, click in like you normally do, create thread, and tell me, I chose occupational and physical therapy. I'm really planning to go into physical therapy. I learned that I could make up to $90,000. It was surprising to me how many jobs were available. Something along those lines. Just talk about the careers that you looked into, anything new, anything surprising. And some of you might already be really well researched, so you can say that as well. You can say, I already knew a lot of this, or you know what, I didn't know what jobs were out there, so I explored kind of some job postings. So just talk about what you found in that particular assignment. Okay, so as a recap for just that section of your assignments, because remember I said there's a lot going on this week. First, you have to complete the educational pathways to a career assignment. After you do that, you can use that assignment to post your original response in the discussion forum. Make your original response by Wednesday for week 3 attendance. Respond to 2 students by Sunday for the rest of the points. All right, if I go back out to the assignment folder, now these 2 assignments go together as well. So these 2 kind of work together hand in hand. This one is you're going to get into your map page, and I will say there are some written directions, so you can look in here. Now it says you must use Firefox. You could maybe use another browser, but I will tell you that Firefox works the best. We've had issues using Chrome and Internet Explorer or whatever Edge it is called now with this assignment. So I really do encourage you to use Firefox. So I have Firefox up and going. What you're going to do is you're going to log in to My Stark State. And let's say that there we go. You're going to get into your My Stuff tab. And you're going to scroll down to My Academic Plan. And hopefully you have been in this already. If not, this will be helpful to you. It's a nice registration tool, nice advising tool. So you'll click on My Academic Plan. It's going to open up for you. This is my brother's from several years ago. He gave me permission years ago to use this so I could pull up his. So you'll see on your page kind of a real quick recap of, your name, your email, your GPA, your advisor, and their email address if you weren't aware who that was. Make sure all this information right here is correct, because this is how things are checked. What is your degree? What is your major? If this is wrong, everything else on the page is wrong. So you want to make sure all that's done correctly. Then you'll scroll down and you'll see these are all the classes that you have to take as part of your program plan. If it's green, it means it's done. If it's outlined in red, you still have to take it. If it's got a little squiggly, it means you're currently taking that class. Okay, so this is the assignment for right here, map assignment. You're going to pull up your map page and you're going to download it as a PDF. How do you do that? All you have to do is right here, and this is why you're in Firefox. The other browsers don't do this so nicely, and I can't open the files. So you're going to click Save as PDF. It's going to tell you to wait just a second. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go up here and I'm going to hit download. I'm just going to save it. And I'm going to go to my folders, downloads. Here it is. And I may rename it so that, when I submit it, it actually has my name. Remark map. And then I'll get back in here, click here, browse my files. I know it's in my downloads. There it is. Hit open and then submit. Okay, that's all you're doing for that assignment. Okay? So you're saving your map as a PDF. The second assignment, you're going to use your map page to fill it out. Okay? So you're using map to fill this paper out. So you'll click here. It's a Word document. You'll click there and it's going to open up right here. And it's going to ask you just really quick 4 basic questions. All of these are on your map page. So if I pull up my map page again, it wants to know what degree is listed in your profile. All right, so right here, degree. I'll make this bigger so you can actually see. Degree, my Associate of Applied Business. It also wants to know, what major is listed in your profile. Okay, if I pull up my major, it's right here, Business Management. What is your catalog year? This is the only one that's a little tricky to find because it's written so small. It's underneath your degree progress right here, catalog year. Most of yours are going to say something like 2019, 2020, 2020, 21, 21, 22, something like that, catalog year. And then the very last thing is who's your academic advisor listed in your profile. Your academic advisor is right there. Okay, So you'll just fill those out and you'll save this. You can save it as a Word or PDF document, whatever works for you. You'll get back in here, click in there, and attach it as a Dropbox assignment. Okay, so that's how those two assignments go together. All right, stick with me. We're on the last chunk. So this is your last assignment, career services. This is the 30-point assignment. So there is 3 parts to this. So you're going to pull up the instructions. So you click on that. It's going to bring you into a 2-page instructions. Here are the 3 parts. All right, part 1, you're going to take the assessment on Career Coach. You've already been in Career Coach, but you have not taken the assessment. So I would go back to Career Coach, and remember, you can get to it. I'll show you where to get to it, like brand new, so to speak. If you're in just the Stark State webpage, like the Stark State homepage, here we go. Everything's running very slow this morning. I can scroll down and I can go to Career Coach right from there. Or I could have also clicked right here into Career Coach, whatever is most comfortable for you. You're going to go to Career, take Career Assessment. I'm going to click the assessment. You are going to take the 60 questions. I know that sounds like a lot. I promise it's not. For the purposes of our video, I'm going to take the 6 questions so you can see how it's set up, but you are taking the 60 questions because it's more detailed. It's going to give you better results. But this is what the questions will look like, so you know. This is basically, would you like to do these things? Like, yeah. No, thanks. All right, there we go. That was real quick. After you take the 60 questions, it's going to give you your results, your kind of personality results, as well as your career matches. And it's going to list, all the way down to the bottom, so, all the way through. And this should look familiar because we used this in one of the assignments before. Like if you click in every further, it brings you back to one of these pages where you have all those overviews, which is nice. Okay, so I'm going to keep going, but here's my results. You are going to either download or save your results, whatever you want to do. You can create an account so you can go back and get these results if you wish, or if you want to take it as a guest, that's fine. Just really make sure you save or download your results so that you have them. That's part 1. That is part 1 of your assignment. Take the 60 questions assessment. You're going to download those and upload those. That's one of the things. You're going to put 2 things in this Dropbox. So don't do that and then just submit. That's one of the 2 PDFs you're going to put in there. So whenever you download the results of your Career Coach assessment, you will save them and upload them into the Dropbox. That's only part 1 though. Okay. Part 2, you're going to create an account with the Skills to Succeed Academy. So click on that, and you do not have to pay anything. You're going to register. There's your access code. You're going to use your Stark State email address and this access code to gain access. Okay, and this is kind of what it looks like, the Skills to Succeed Academy. So you're going to leave that kind of up and running in the background because you're going to use it in combination with part 3. Part 3, you're going to watch the workshop video. So I know there's another video. It is back in this Career Services folder. Right here. It's about 47 minutes. You're going to watch this video. Blackboard is going to send me a receipt when you've watched it. So after you've watched the entire video with sound, it'll send me a receipt and say, so-and-so has watched it. And that's how you get 10 points of the 30 points. Okay. The first 10 points came from the Career Coach assessment. The second 10 points are going to come from what you're going to do in here in this Skills to Succeed. And then the third 10 points are coming from this workshop video. Okay. So while you're watching this workshop video, it's going to ask you to pause every once in a while and to pick one of these 2 options in the Skills to Succeed Academy. Either find your future. So this is for students who maybe you're still at the very beginning of career exploration. You're not sure what you want to do, or maybe you're undecided, or get some experience. You already have a major and you're kind of looking to build on that. So whatever one of these you'll click on, it's going to bring you to this module system, and you'll kind of click through with the arrows. Eventually, when you finish, you are going to see your progress. Now, obviously I didn't complete it, but yours will be done, and you're going to email your progress to yourself, or you can download the certificate, and you're going to upload your progress to me. And this is also in this right here. Like, it walks you through progress, email progress. So it'll walk you through that as well. That's the second PDF you're uploading in this Dropbox. So 2 PDFs in this Dropbox. And if you only upload one and hit submit, it won't let you resubmit. So just keep that in mind. You are going to submit the Career Coach 60 question assessment results and your Skills to Succeed Academy progress results. Those are the 2 PDFs that you are uploading in here. The third part is the video, which I will get from Blackboard itself. Okay, I know we went through a lot, so I'm just going to real quick recap all of your assignments for this week. You are completing the Educational Pathways to Career assignment. Using what you did there, you will complete your Pathways to a Career discussion forum. Make sure you respond by Wednesday for week attendance, and then 2 classmates by Sunday, which also means this assignment has to be due by Wednesday as well, because you use it to complete your forum. You're also completing your MAP assignment and your Program Advisor assignment. Those are due Sunday. You can complete those kind of together. And then your 3-part Career Services assignment is due Sunday as well. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, let me know, and have a great week 3.